Hey programmers, and welcome back to my Grandma 3 for Grandma 2 Programmers series. Today we're going to talk about the backup menu, and then we're going to take a look at the MA3 file structure for our show files, both on our PCs and on our thumb drives. The backup menu was updated in version 1313, so if your software is older, it won't look quite the same. And along the same lines, as the software grows, I'd expect most of these windows to continue to change a little, so always read your release notes. The window is a lot more simplified, but it does mean there are some features from the MA2 that aren't here, at least not yet. So we're starting in the Load tab. I'm seeing all of the show files stored on my internal drive because up in the title bar, I'm set to Shows, although I can switch to see Backups or Demo Shows. If I wanted to look at my thumb drive, I'd swap the location from this option next to the X. To start a new show, I just go to the New tab on the left. The console will automatically give me a name that includes the date and time, or I can change this to whatever I want. Now, absent here is that menu that we're all used to where you could choose what elements you wanted to keep or clear from the current show when starting your new show. I don't know if this will make it in the future or not. Now, in my new show, I'm going to go to the Save tab. Not much to explore here. You can keep the same name or change it, and if you make a change, the Save button automatically becomes Save Show As, and of course I can still specify the internal drive or my thumb drive. The Delete tab doesn't hold any new surprises for us either, except that it would seem that I can't currently grab a bunch of shows or backups to delete. I can only do one at a time. The last tab, called Settings, is just for our autosave right now. If you click the timeout, you can pick the intervals for how often the console will autosave your show. By the way, I think the name of this button might change to something different than timeout, but it'll still be the same idea. It'll still be an interval between backups. And I do like that the countdown timer is always present at the top of the backup menu. There is a quick save option that still saves a backup of your show. One way to do this is to hit the menu key twice. And if you expand your command line, you can see that doing that runs the command Save Show. You can also pick the quick save option from the menu pop-up. Now here's a bummer, at least in this version. The console doesn't remember the last destination that you saved to. So when you open the backup menu, it seems it always starts with the internal drive. It also means that when you do a quick save, it's only saving to the internal drive and not to both the internal and an external like your thumb drive. I don't know if or when the quick save to external media will be added, but I hope it happens. Okay, we saved all our shows. Now let's take a look at where this stuff is actually stored. The first time we save a show to our thumb drive, the MA will create a new file structure. Everything goes into a folder called Grandma 3. From there, in the shared folder, there's two places for show storage. The show files are in the show folder, and the backups are now in a separate backups folder. And while we're here, still in the shared folder, the lib_fixture_types folder is going to hold some handy stuff for when you're moving fixture profiles around or customizing gobos, for example. In the user folder, I can find a fixture profile that I exported to this drive. If it was a GDTF file, I'd find that in this GDTF folder. And if you're going to be adding images, then in the shared folder, find resource and then the lib_images folder. For those of you running on PC in a Windows system, you can find these files on your hard drive starting at Program Data, then find MA Lighting Technology, then the folder of the MA3 software version you're working in, the shared folder, and there's our shows and backups and resource folders. If you're running on PC on your Mac, you can find your MA3 files by navigating to your user, then find the MA Lighting Technology folder, then the version of software you're using, the shared folder, and in there you'll find your backups, shows, and resource folders. As with everything, file structure might get updated in future versions of software. You never know, so watch the release notes. Now we know where everything is and how to back up all our stuff, which is always important, but it's especially important for our next topic, which is software updates. See you soon.